Hello everyone, Moobies here, and welcome to the Trial of the Grand Crusader Boss Guide series. In this video, we'll be going over the third boss in the arena, Heroic Faction Champions. If you're looking for a normal mode guide, please fast forward to the end of this video for normal mode tips. This is our first PvP fight in a raid setting. Like Heroic Magister's Terrace, this can be very dangerous if your raid doesn't know what they're doing. The fight consists of 10 enemy champions. Usually you'll get 3 healers and 7 damage dealers. There are 13 total options that can spawn. Here are the classes you'll face off against. In the description of this video are the names of each mob by class and by faction. Death Knight, Boomkin, Druid Healer, Hunter, Paladin Healer, Retribution Paladin, Discipline Priest, Shadow Priest, Rogue, Resto and Ellie Shaman, Enhancement Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior. On Heroic, some champions have 3.2 million HP and others have 2.6 million. The key to this fight is control. Each champion is armed with a PvP trinket and a full suite of normal class abilities. They will use anything and everything to kill you. All of the champions are untauntable and will chase down anyone they see as dangerous. We did not use any tanks for this fight. Both of our tanks went DPS specs for damage and combat effectiveness. Assign crowd control on all mobs, accounting for diminishing returns. We're going to take a second to talk about diminishing returns. First, all CC is now applicable to PvP rules, meaning that the duration on your tooltip is not the same as what will actually happen. Most stun/crowd control lasts a short period of time in PvP, 8 to 12 seconds max, and will be subject to diminishing returns. Diminishing returns work in a way that each type of CC, stun, polymorph, root, all share their own diminishing returns cooldown. For instance, Hand of Justice and Bash are subject to the same diminishing returns cooldown. Your first crowd control will go for the full duration. If you cast it a second time within 15 seconds of the first application ending, you'll get 50% duration. The third one is 25% of the original duration, and they are now immune to that type of crowd control for 15 seconds. To counteract this, rotate your crowd control types. The best example of this is using a single Warlock to lock down a Resto Druid. You'll have the Warlock use Banish 3 times to use up that DR cooldown. Then Fear the Druid 3 times. By the time the DR is hit on the Fear, the Banish DR will be up, allowing you to continually CC this champion for the entire fight. A common mistake that people will make is alternating Fear and Banish, thinking it will reset the DR cooldown. But remember that each type has its own internal cooldown. Once that type is cast, the DR begins, so rotating it will make the target immune to both types of CC relatively quickly and allow them to run free. Now let's talk a little bit of strategy. There isn't a major strategy here, but mostly a priority list of dangerous targets. The champions that will do the most damage are the Enhancement Shaman, the Rogue, the Death Knight, and the Warrior. You'll want to ensure that you have good crowd control on 2 of the healers and set one of them as your first kill target. The rest of your group will be assigned to crowd control the melee. Slows, stuns, roots are all good options here. Assign CC and assure that your raid is using all of the tools at their disposal. It's important to remember that there are 25 of you and only 10 of them. Survival is key. If you're assigned to CC and you get targeted, just run away. Let the CC go and call it out. If you can stay alive, your raid will have a better chance at defeating this boss. Some things to note. Paladins will bubble when low. Be ready to mass dispel. The Warrior is going to Bladestorm. Run away from it. Shaman will cast totems. Make sure you kill them, especially the Wind Fury totem. The Shaman will also Bloodlust or Heroism. Mass dispel this as well. The Warlock pet can be a bit of a nuisance as it will interrupt your casters, but it's not overly dangerous. The Rogue is just dangerous in general. Keep it at a distance as much as possible. The Warlock will periodically cast Hellfire. This deals a lot of damage, but if you're not in range of it, no need to worry about it. Interrupt it or move out of it. Keep healing reduction up on your main kill targets. Aim shot, furious attacks, wound poison, and mortal strike. Dispel is very useful here, both on your raid members and on the champions. Sometimes it's better to dispel than to heal the target through the debuff. Disarms are also very helpful here, especially on the rogue. And finally, do not AoE. They are 75% resistant to AoE attacks. Natural Cleave is fine, but don't try Fan of Knives, Whirlwind, Multi-Shot, Seed of Corruption, etc. This will break CC and likely cause a wipe. To start, we did the triple Death Grip strat to start the fight, where we Death Gripped a healer all the way to the opposite side of the room. This caused the entire group of champions to have to run all the way to us to get casts off. Using Frost Traps and slows in between us, this allowed us to kill off the first healer pretty quickly. Don't get too close to them as they're running across though, as they will be looking to one-shot you as well. You can also start the fight off by running in and using Hungering Cold. This will immediately pop all 10 PvP trinkets on the enemy side. For normal mode, the champions do not have a PvP trinket and have reduced health and damage, but the strategy remains the same. Once the first couple of champions have been killed off, the fight gets easier and easier. Overall, control the champions, assign CC, alternate for diminishing returns, and survive. This will earn you a win in the arena, and you can move on to the next fight. Thanks so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to make more videos. See you next time!